Again. Thank you. So as some of you know, I got the opportunity to join Chad and a few other amazing people like that girl over there, and a few other people in the audience too, on the youth missions trip to Washington D.C. Nothing brings you closer than being stuck in a van together for 10 hours straight. But trying to get on this trip wasn't easy. It seemed that everything that could go wrong to prevent me from going did. For one thing, coming from a big family, you don't exactly get a lot of extra spending money. But luckily, through God's will and Chad's planning, I managed to make it to most of the youth fundraisers. And also with the generosity of the church, I managed to make up over half the cost of the trip. And boy, am I ever glad I did, because it changed my entire relationship with God. My relationship with God has always been an on and off kind of thing. But after that week, it's permanently on. The whole week was a series of God moments. I had some ups and some downs, but definitely more ups than downs. One of the downs I had was while we were demolishing a basement, I stepped on a rusty nail that also came out of a wall where mold and maggots were growing. So I got to experience the fun of dealing with my insurance company and America's lack of healthcare coverage. On that trip, I learned that God does answer prayer. Go figure. But in that, I learned to be careful what you pray for. Because one night, I asked God to show me the things that break his heart and make them break mine too. Bad choice. The next morning, while serving breakfast at a soup kitchen, I met a man who just returned from serving 9 years in the Marines and now is homeless. It blew my mind and broke my heart that people could let this man and others like him live on the streets, especially after he sacrificed everything to fight for his country so that these people may continue living the way they want. And now they won't even sacrifice their time or even a dime to help him out. But this heartbreaking moment was followed by an inspirational one. Another activity we did was washing people's feet and giving them new shoes. So I was one of the people washing feet. And this little boy named Anthony, who was 10 years old, came in. He was the kindest kid I've ever met. He cared so much about people and animals, but had a very negative view on life. So when I was done, he got up and gave me the biggest hug ever and thanked me, but not a casual thank you. It was a genuine, heartfelt thank you. It was weird, though, to me, because all I did was sprinkle water on his feet, but he was yet still very grateful. It's not something you see every day. And my final experience is my biggest God moment. So you hear all these stories about people who actually talk to God and see angels and see him in all different kinds of ways. Well, I believe them, just I never expected them to happen to me. So another of our activities was the urban plunge, as Chad was saying earlier, when we have to talk to random homeless people on the street. Kind of difficult. But we also had to buy them dinner with only $2 for them and ourselves. I met a man named Gabriel, who ended up telling me more about myself instead. There is no doubt in my mind that this man that I met was the angel Gabriel in disguise, sent here by God to give me a message. So on this trip, I learned to be more open to everyone and everything, because you never know if the dirty homeless man you ignore is God in disguise trying to tell you something. And that sometimes the beggar on the street doesn't really want your money, but rather your time to just chat about anything. Well, we all have a story to tell, but no one is more eager to talk than the very people we ignore every day. So as I was challenged to be open to everything and everyone, I challenge you to do the same thing, because you never know whose story is God's message for us. Thank you.
I don't have a big fancy speech like Rayshelle, because I'm not good at public speaking. But, so basically my experience in Washington was absolutely incredible. And through 4 years of going to the youth group, and probably over 2,000 talks with Chad, about 4 or so youth retreats, and my second missions trip, I finally came to find God and accept him into my heart. And it's been a very long journey, and it's just beginning, so I'm pretty excited.
It was pretty awesome the night when I was talking to Leah and she had these questions, and I'm like, oh, there's so many questions, and how do I pick answers? And he's like, oh, just so you know, I wrote a speech and I gave it to God. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And so we had this fun game of who can we wake up and see if they'll be angry and then happy. So we woke up Hayden, and we were like, hey Hayden, why? He was so angry. We woke him up from a dead sleep, and like, Leah gave her heart to God. I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then I was like, Hayden, cover yourself, you're wearing underwear. That was quite the experience. But then, because of Leah's step to faith, like after the trip, Hayden contacted me. He's like, Chad, I'm ready to make the plunge too. So because of this trip, 2 people gave their hearts to God, which is fantastic. So Hayden, he's the young guy who's been doing a lot of skits up front with myself. He couldn't be here today because he's left for college, which is actually very disappointing for us in the youth group. But it's fantastic that he made this step, and he's taken hopefully a few things with him that he'll get in touch with some Christian groups while he's out at school, and he'll continue staying in touch with us. When I said it was a remarkable trip, it really was. God truly moved. If I may say thank you very much, because if it wasn't for you guys, obviously this couldn't have happened. Your generosity at the last minute, you're kind of worried about some people being able to afford going. You guys stepped up, and it was just fantastic. So thank you very much. If I may be so bold, there are some things, we have great experiences, but if you may keep me in your prayers in the next month. I'm tired. And I guess I just need that passion that these guys have had, and hopefully they can instill some of that in me. So thank you for all you've done, and hopefully we'll continue to have great things.